Gall Motors Inc., Riley Spraying Service, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Nex-Tech pregame show. I am Steve Stoltz and we are in Norton tonight as the Blue Jays host the Phillipsburg Panthers. Two proud programs coming into this ball game tonight. Both know each other very well in the MCL League, and it's going to be a good game tonight. Phillipsburg, they took this series last year, winning 50-21. Norton gets a shot at revenge tonight. So the Panthers come in 3-3. It's been kind of an up and down season for the Phillipsburg Panthers, but they beat Russell, and Russell was undefeated until the Panthers took them out last week. And then they also beat a very tough TMP squad over there in Hayes. So when the Panthers offense clicks, they're hard to stop, and they score a lot of points, and they score a lot of points fast. On the defensive side, well, Phillipsburg is coming off a loss last week in Pratt, and 62-34 was the final score. So for the Panthers tonight, they want to focus on tackling, they want to focus on their defense, they want to focus on avoiding giving up those big plays. On the other hand, Norton, they are still looking for their first win, and this is a big rivalry game for them, and so tonight they're looking for their first win of the season. They played one of their best first quarters last week against Russell. They had an early lead, and then that kind of unraveled from there. Hudson Wicker, Jarrett Fonensteel, they both scored. Clydesdale and Katz both had interceptions last week, and so the theme tonight is a classic Western Kansas MCL clash where we've seen momentum swing both ways over the last few decades. In fact, Norton's defense stymied Phillipsburg in 2023 with a 14-6 win, and that was a very tough, hard-nosed battle between those two. Last year, Phillipsburg flipped the script and lit up the scoreboard, beating Norton by scoring 50 points. So between the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, a lot of tradition here between these two teams. Norton dominated in the 80s and the 90s. Come to 2000, it switched over to Phillipsburg. In fact, Phillipsburg, you may remember, won the state championship back in 2018. So a lot of tradition here between these two teams. So let's talk a little bit about what it's going to take tonight for each team to win. So for Norton, again, they're looking for their first win tonight. They need to finish drives. They need to protect the football. They need to sustain drives, and they need that defense to stay on the field as little as possible tonight. They've created turnovers, but they need to stop giving the ball away. For Phillipsburg, the key for them tonight, discipline and tackling. They need to cut down on chunk plays, but they also need to stay physical as well. They have a strong offensive line. They run the ball well. They need to mix in maybe a little bit of a play action tonight to keep Norton on their heels. So this series ultimately comes down to field position, and it's going to come down to turnovers as well. Look for a big game tonight from Ashton Katz. He's a big play threat. Tyler Backman, he's a good running back, and so they're going to look for those two on the offensive side. On the defensive side, Fahnenstiel and Weigel, they're the leading tacklers for this team. They need to be ball hawks tonight in order to beat Phillipsburg. So for Phillipsburg, what they need to do to win this game, just keep running. Tanner Horenik and also Blake Burrish are your top runners for this team. Blake Burrish has 540 yards rushing through last week. Phillipsburg's offensive line is big and they're tough. They can set the tone early. So the bottom line, Phillipsburg is trying to steady the ship here with a 3-3 record. Norton is looking to pick up their first win, and they would love nothing more to do that at home tonight. So can the Norton Blue Jays, can they spring the upset, or do the Panthers that just have too much firepower? We're going to find out. Coming up, we have interviews with the coaches, and then we'll have the kickoff coming up here shortly. You're watching Nex-Tech, the pregame show, here on Nex-Tech Local 1.
We're 2-0 in the district right now, but yeah, 3-3 overall. We've had a good season. We've had our ups and downs, kind of. We lost a couple really close games early on, and then last week, Pratt kind of handled us pretty good. We did some good things, but our effort wasn't quite there, and hopefully we have that fixed going into this week.
Okay, is Pratt kind of a new school that you're seeing, or was that just trying to fill your schedule up a little bit?
Yeah, so the way that they're doing it, that was our open week in the middle of districts for the last cycle, and Pratt was kind of the only team that was available to play. I mean, it's a decent drive. It's not too terrible, but they were the only team in the area and even close to our classification that we could play. And so I think with the new playoff system, you're going to see more and more in that in the future until they change it again for classes 3 through 1A.
Okay. Do you guys, as far as the team, do you kind of like going outside of the norm to see some of those schools?
I like it. I like seeing different people, different competition. The stakes aren't as high in those games, I feel like, because even your kids, as much as you tell them, they know that it's not a district game. But sometimes that allows you to play a little more loose and a little more free, try some things that you might not try in a district or league game. And the kids know, like, it's not somebody that we see often enough to where we know them and they know us. So you can see a little surprise from both teams in those kind of situations. But yeah, so in our district is Beloit, Russell, Norton, and Minneapolis. So we still have 2 district games left. We beat Beloit, we beat Russell, and now we have Norton this week. And then next week will be Minneapolis. And with the way that they changed the playoff format, you could see anybody from the other side of the state. And so no clue who we're going to play, but honestly, I feel like that helps us a little bit when it comes to preparing for the games ahead of us that are on our schedule right now, because we're not matched up like it used to be District 8 versus District 7 or 5 versus 6. We don't know who we're going to play first round of playoffs. And a lot of that has to be taken care of. First of all, we need to win the game in front of us. So we have business to take care of before we get to that.
Okay. Speaking of the game in front of you, you guys play Norton. They haven't won a game this year, but how do you approach a game like that?
Honestly, we told the kids, like, this is not an 0-6 team, and we know that no matter what, in a Norton and Phillipsburg game, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be hotly contested. It's gonna be teams getting after each other. just because of the rivalry. And you can look back at all of the years prior. I actually went all the way back looking at the 70s the other day, and it doesn't matter like who's the favored team. Either way, it's going to be close. And so we can't take them lightly at all. They have good athletes. The quarterback's really good. I think he runs the ball really well. He's got a strong arm. He's a big athletic kid. And then their running back, the Backman kid, he's fast. And we cannot allow him to get out in open space or he'll take it the distance. So they definitely have some key pieces. They're not a bad football team by any means, and they're well coached and they do things the right way. And so you're going to get their best shot. But we know that we're going to rise up to the challenge as well. And that's our kids love to play against Norton. And so that's why it's going to be exciting.
Health-wise, we got banged up a little bit last week. We'll be without our quarterback this game. So we'll have to start a new kid. Beyond that, just normal flu type stuff going around. I mean, it's this time of year with weather changing and whatnot, but overall we're in pretty good health. Well, we've really been working on trying to look at where we were at the beginning of the season compared to where we are now. And we've shown great growth. Kids are very positive at practice. Sometimes when you have a team that's not doing real well, you've got a lot of finger pointing, you got a lot of that type of stuff going on. Our kids are in good spirits. They realize that we've got a very young team, hasn't had a lot of experience in previous years, so they see it as a growth year to basically get ready for the upcoming seasons afterwards.
You talked about, starting out well and stuff like that. Is that one of the areas that you hope to improve on, kind of sustaining that same thing through the whole game?
Yes. Most of our problem early in the season is that we were waiting about a quarter before we got going. You look at our Smith Center game, you look at, even our TMP game, all those games we had previous, we always spotted teams' points. And then once we got woke up, then we were fine and we were staying with them. We were playing with Smith Center. You give us another 5 minutes and it may be a different ball game. But our kids just have to see that success and then they thrive off of it. It's one of those types of things. So if we can get going early, give them that early success, then I think the kids will feed off of it, especially, being at home, having the homecoming crowd. Those things will help the kids.
Yeah. All right, so looking at this week, you guys are playing a pretty good Phillipsburg team, but like when I talked to Coach Ross, it's almost like records are out the window because it's Phillipsburg and Norton. It's such a rivalry.
It's very true. You look at Norton Peaburg over history, it's always a good game. We attack each other, we understand each other pretty well. They're going to run the not wishbone, but they're going to run the flex bone at us, and it's tough. It's an option style offense, and our kids get up for these types of games. It's a rivalry. That's the way it is. A lot of the teams in the MCL are rivalries, and Phillipsburg and us are just half an hour away. Our kids probably know them as best as they know anybody. We just got to come to hit. When you're going against a team that runs 93% of the time, you've got to meet them in the trenches. So our kids need to be motivated to come downhill and make things happen. Same thing offensively. You can't squander opportunities. You got to be able to take care of the ball. You got to be able to, play ahead of the sticks, because in that sort of offense, you may not see the ball a lot, because, my son went to Air Force. It's the same style of offense. And it's one of those things where, okay, the defense is going to be limited because you don't have a chance to get the football. So we got to take care of business when we have those opportunities, make them play behind the sticks, make us play ahead of the sticks, and, hopefully everything goes in the right direction.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman. Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes, from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drugstore, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. A special thanks to our Norton Blue Jay Game Time Boosters, Moffett Drugstore, Graham Construction, and Roy Sales and Service, Brian and Kate Von and Steel owners. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from CarQuest of Norton, Midwest Mill, and BEB and Associates. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Go Fight Win Blue Jays. A special thanks to these Norton Game Time Boosters, Bailey Ag Solutions Inc., United Northwest Federal Credit Union, and New Age Industrial Corporation. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from New Look Body Shop Gall Motors Inc., Riley Spraying Service, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's game here in Norton between the Blue Jays and the Phillipsburg Panthers. Captains are out on the field right now doing the coin toss. It's homecoming night here in Norton, and they just recognized the king and queen candidates. And so we're looking to see who is going to win the coin toss. More than likely, whoever does is going to defer. Your captains out there for Norton is going to be Weigel, Backman, two of those. And we are ready to go. Big rivalry with these two teams. Norton looking to pick up their first win of the season. Phillipsburg coming in at 3-3. Trying to pick up their fourth win, and usually it's Ashton Katz as the quarterback, the junior for the Blue Jays, but he is on the sidelines in street clothes, and so he is not going to be playing tonight. He has been the starting quarterback all season long, and he is injured. So starting quarterback tonight is going to be the sophomore Hayden Rice. Hayden, 6'3", 180-pound quarterback. Phillipsburg set to kick off. And we are about underway here. Teeing it up is going to be Zane Shields from the 40, and we are underway as the kickoff is picked up at the 3-yard line, looking for an opening, hurdles one tackle, and finally gets out to the 24-yard line. Nice little return there by Hudson Wicker, the junior. So a new quarterback in for Norton tonight. Hayden Rice has thrown 10 passes this season, completed 3 of those, but he does have a touchdown and no interceptions. Weigel split right, Valling split left. And we are ready to go. Here's a snap, handoff, breaks it out to the right side. This is Backman. Tyler Backman will pick up close to 7 yards on the play. They're going to give him 7 yards. Backman comes into this ball game, the second leading rusher for Norton with 262 yards and 3 touchdowns. And they're officially going to give him 6 on that play. So it brings up second down and 4. Hayden Rice, shotgun formation. Handoff again. Breaking it out to the left side this time is Backman, and he, based off the side judge on the far side of the field, he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And so it's going to bring up third down and long 4 now. Backman's second carry of the night. He's got 6 yards. So got Weigel again split left. And there's a fumble, and Hayden Rice tucks it in, and that's going to be a sack on the play. Big number 61, Colton Shelton, the senior for the Panthers, in there on the stop. He gets the sack, and it's going to be a loss of 3 on the play, and Norton is going to have to punt this one away. There's a flag on the field. Norton says it's on Phillipsburg, but the referees say nope, it was a false start. And let's see what Phillipsburg's going to make Norton march back even deeper in their own territory. So fourth down now and 13. And there is another penalty on the play, and it is another false start against the Blue Jays. And that's kind of what I was talking about during the pregame show, is that, Norton, they come in this game, haven't won yet this year. They have to be very, very disciplined. And so far, 2 back-to-back penalties. And Owen Clark, the freshman, back to punt this one away. And he gets a nice deep kick, picked up at the 45-yard line, and that's Blake Burrish. Blake is tripped up as he crosses the midfield and crosses the Norton 40-yard line. And so that is where the Panthers are going to pick up where they're going to take on possession, their first possession of the night. Here's a handoff, and there's a flag on the play, and that's Kate Schwinn, and he's going to get into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play back at the 37. So it's holding, that's going to be the penalty on Phillipsburg, and that's going to cost them 10 yards. And so it's now 1st and 20 from the 40 7-yard line. So what it would have been a 37-yard touchdown is now a first and 20 from the Norton 46-yard line. Colin Springer's the quarterback. Behind him is Horenick. Horenick gets the handoff, the sweep over the right side. He breaks it open. He's got one man to beat, and he is finally brought down just before the goal line, right at the 1-yard line. That's a 45-yard run by Tanner Horenick. So 2 back-to-back plays, only one counted of long touchdown runs, and the state champion hurdler showed his speed on that sweep to the outside and dropped down at the 2-yard line. Handoff up the middle, and Burrish will bully his way into the end zone. Blake Burrish with a 2-yard touchdown. And just like that, with 9:23 left to go, here in the opening quarter, it's a 6-0 ball game. And kicking for the Panthers is going to be Zane Shields. Snap, ball's down, kick is on its way, and it is true. So 7-0. Phillipsburg scores on their very first drive. Let's see what Norton can do when we come back from this timeout. You're watching the Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed, bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hazerec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Zane Shields tees it up, and Phillipsburg with the early 7-0 lead on their first possession. Here's another deep kickoff, picked up at the 5-yard line, running up the middle, and boy, just not much there. Gets out to the 20-yard line, and that's about as far as he got. That was Wicker with that return. And so is 3 and out in Norton's first possession. So Norton with a new quarterback, Hayden Rice, the 6'3" senior. He's going to be under center this time. Handoff up the middle. Just not much going there at all, and they will maybe give him, let's call it a yard on the play. That was to number 17. That was Jared Fonensteel with the carry. Picks up, we're going to give him a yard. So they'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 from the 21. So no pass plays yet for Norton. All 4 plays have been running plays. And there's a flag on the play, and that one looked like Rice was just going to take that and hang on and go around the left side. But Phillipsburg is called for offsides, and so That'll be a 5-yard penalty on the Panthers. And so that'll bring up 2nd down and a long 4 for the Blue Jays. Keyswater is into the ball game. We got 2 receivers split left. Here's an option play. It's a pitch out, and not much going there for Tyler Backman. Backman is knocked out of bounds, and we're going to give him a yard on that play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down, now a long 3 for the Blue Jays. And it's very important here for the Blue Jays to pick up a 1st down here, give them a little bit of momentum as Caden Infield checks into the game, number 11, and shotgun formation. Here is a pitch out, and this is going back to Backman. He cuts it back outside. He is going to pick up a 1st down, breaks a tackle, and finally brought out a bounds. And they're going to give him a 1st down, so that is a pickup. We're going to call it, well, it looks like he was out of bounds at the 33. So that is going to be a 1st down and pickup of good enough to get a 1st down. And here is the first pass play. It's a screen pass out to Backman, and Backman is knocked out of bounds at the 39, and that's going to be a 5-yard pickup on the first pass tonight for the Blue Jays. Actually, they're going to give him 6. So that'll be a pass there, and picks up 6, and it's 2nd down and 4 now for the Blue Jays. Things starting to click now, and quick pass out, incomplete, and Owen Clark, it didn't look like the freshman was ready for that pass, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 now as 2nd pass now for the starting sophomore at quarterback. And like I said, he's only thrown 10 passes all year before tonight with Ashton Katz on the sideline with an injury. So we got 2 receivers split right. Here is a pitch. It goes back to Backman. Backman is close to the midfield, and they're going to mark him out at about the 46-yard line. That's going to gain a 6, and that's good enough for a 1st down. So Backman averages 4 yards a carry coming into this ball game with 3 touchdowns and 262 rushing yards on the season. He's only behind Ashton Katz. And Katz is not obviously playing tonight. It's a pass over on the left side, and as he fell down, and it was complete. Oh, okay, now they're saying it was incomplete. That was infield. And infield looked like infield tried to catch it as he was falling down, and kind of an interesting play there, but it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 on that incomplete pass. Here's the snap. Backman breaks it out to the left. He got one man to beat. He breaks one tackle, and he's finally brought down. Pick up. See how they mark it here. That's going to be 6 yards on that. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 4, 7:20 left to go here in the opening quarter here in Norton. It's an absolutely gorgeous night here, mid-October here, and Norton trying to pick up their first win of the year on homecoming night. The play clock is running down to 5. Here's a snap. Rice throws it and into traffic, and well, Phillipsburg says they intercepted it. And it is a catch. Wow, what a catch out there by Jarrett Fahnensteel. Clear out to the 31-yard line of Phillipsburg. Rice just kind of threw it in traffic, and, well, Fahnensteel ended up with that ball. Fahnensteel, it helps when you're 6 feet tall, and was able to reel that in. Here's a fake handoff, and Rice is going to keep this himself and brings it up the middle. And that is going to be another, let's call it at 6 yards on that play. Okay, we'll call it a short 5. There we go. And so just like that, Norton is starting to pick up chunks of yardage here. Now all of a sudden they're at the 26-yard line of a very, very stringy Phillipsburg defense. 2 receivers split left, Weigel split right. Here is a pass over to Backman again. He breaks a few tackles, and he is down close to the 10-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at the 11. So a 13-yard pass play from Rice to Backman. And we've seen a lot of Backman. Backman has 15 catches and 202 yards coming into this ball game, along with a couple of touchdowns. And, well, this is a total opposite of what Norton's first possession was. Boy, that was not good, and there's a fumble on the play. And the Panthers pounce on it. That did not look good. And we're going to give, I think we're going to give that one to Rice, and it just didn't look like he got the handoff clean, and it looked like half the team was just about a second or so, maybe half a second late on that snap, and so it just did not look good from the get-go. And so what was an awesome drive for Norton ends up in the first turnover of this ball game. And so Phillipsburg is at their own 11-yard line, and they've been running at will, as carrying the rock on a keeper was Springer, number 15, and brings it out to the 17-yard line. So 15 quarterback Springer, and actually the PA announcer did announce earlier that they apologized. They did not get the opposing team starting quarterback on the programs tonight, but it doesn't matter, as Burrish again with the carry, and that's going to bring him out to the 24-yard line, and that's going to move the chains for Phillipsburg. A fresh set of downs now for the Panthers, as they're picking up where they left off on their last drive. So Burrish with his first official run tonight. Here's a sweep out to the right side. This is by Hrenek. Hrenek breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and there is a flag deep in the secondary of Norton. If this stands, it's a 6-yard pickup for Hrenek, but let's see what the penalty is. It is against the Panthers, and referee's out there discussing. So they're going to march Phillipsburg back to the 23-yard line. So instead of a pickup of 6 for Hrenek, That's going to be a penalty, a spot penalty, so that's going to bring up first down and 11 for the Panthers. So Burrish, who's got well over 500 yards rushing on the season, by himself in the backfield. It's a counter play, and this goes to Horenik. He's got one man to beat. He is being chased, and he is not going to be caught. That is a touchdown for the Phillipsburg Panthers. No flag on the field, and this call will stand. And just like that, the Phillipsburg Panthers are an extra point away from making this a 14-point ball game. Shields, the kicker, almost blocked, and it is no good, off to the right. Good pressure from that right side of the Norton Blue Jays special teams, and it is no good. So 13-0 with 3:33 left to go here in the opening quarter. You are watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes, from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with professional fire equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Drive. Ninety-yard drive for the Panthers as Phillipsburg goes up 13-0. The extra point was no good by Shields. And with 3:33 left to go, let's see if Norton can kind of pick up where they left off. Their second drive, they marched it clear down to the 10-yard line of Phillipsburg, but turned the ball over. Backman with the play, and that almost looked like a horse collar. But the referee was right on top of that. He says, no, it was not. And Backman is drug out of bounds at the 22. So that is where the Norton Blue Jays will take possession of their third possession of the ball game. And they really showed some good signs of life there in that last drive and just weren't able to capitalize. So mix it up with a little bit of play action, some sweeps, some screens. So let's see what first-year coach Jeremy Hawks has up his sleeve for this drive. Here's an option. It's a pitch out to Backman. We've seen a lot of Backman today. Gets out of a stiff arm and finally brought out of bounds. They're going to spot it at the 20. It's called the 29-yard line. So that's going to give him a pickup of 6 yards and brings up second down and 4. Norton was trying to run the ball up the middle there on their first drive and just did not have any success at all. So they've had a lot more success with these option plays. There's a pitch out, and not much going there. That was Backman again. And Backman's going to lose 3 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up third down now and 9 with just under 3 minutes left to go here in the opening quarter. We'll get you other games and scores as we get them in tonight. some big games in the area, probably none bigger than Great Bend and Hayes. Here is a pass, and it is caught at the 34-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for a first down. That was a nice pass out to Hudson Wicker. That's an 11-yard pickup and enough for a first down. So these quick little passes, it doesn't really give Phillipsburg a whole lot of time to tee up on the quarterback. Here's a deep pass, wide open, and he dropped it. That was Hudson Wicker, the junior. He had blown by the coverage, and that was a heck of a throw by Rice. And Wicker just let the ball go through his hands, and I promise you there's nobody else in this stadium more upset with himself than that young man, Hudson Wicker. And so he'll have that opportunity again. So Wicker is split right. Here is handoff. This goes to Backman. Backman tries to stiff arm himself out of a tackle, and he is actually going to get smacked hard there on the right side. I think that was Burrish that made the tackle, and they're going to give him a yard loss on that play. So that's going to bring up third down and 11. Ball at the 32-yard line. We're at about a minute 35 left to go here in the opening quarter. That was a heck of a hit that Backman took over on that far side. Probably looking at a definite passing situation here. Rice rolling to his right, throws it across the field and over his intended receiver, Kieswater, and it's going to bring up fourth down 11, and that is going to stop the Norton Blue Jay third drive. So back to punt for the Blue Jays, Owen Clark, the freshman. Deep to receive is Blake Burrish, the senior for the Panthers, as he stands at his own 36. Here's the snap. Punt lands at right at the 35 and takes a Phillipsburg bounce, and then takes a Norton bounce and finally downed at the 36-yard line by Rick Wyatt. 1:06 left to go here in the first quarter. It's 13-0. Phillipsburg with the lead and looking to add on to that lead. Phillipsburg, size-wise, is quite a bit bigger than that defensive line for the Blue Jays. You've got Ty Herenick, 5'11", 273 pounds in there, and he can move several people. Here's a handoff up the middle. This is Burrish, and he is gone. 64 yards. Untouched, no flag on the play, and that is yet another touchdown for the Phillipsburg Panthers with just under 3 left to go. And tell you what, when you get Blake Burrish with a full head of steam like that, it's going to be incredibly hard to bring him down. And you got to credit that defensive line for Norton, for Phillipsburg for breaking that hole wide open. So the last time that Zane Shields tried an extra point, it was no good. And it is no good again. A lot of pressure coming from that right side of the defense on these extra points. That was Caleb Kieswetter that made the pressure and forced yet another missed extra point. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff, and we will be back. This is Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you will be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Shields with his fourth kickoff of the night, and it is fielded at the 2. And this is going to be Hudson Wicker, and Hudson is going to be tripped up and brought down at about the 14-yard line. One play, 64 yards on that last drive for Phillipsburg as Blake Burrish sprinted in from 64 yards out. Earlier in this quarter, Tanner Horenik ran for a 77-yard touchdown. And so that's what I was talking about during the pregame show, is that Norton cannot give up these big plays, their defense. And so offense is going to have to step it up now. There's a handoff up the middle and just nothing going. Numerous Panthers in there on the stop. The carrier was Jarrett Fahnensteel, number 17, and they're going to give him a yard forward progress on that play. Brings up 2nd down and 9 as 30 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter here in Norton. It's a beautiful night, homecoming, big crowd here. And they would love to see Norton put some points on the board here. And there's a pass. It is caught by number 7. That is Weigel. And Hayden Rice flung that ball in there. And as a sophomore, he's a big boy. He's 6'2", 180 pounds. And he can throw the ball really, really well. And he's had several completions tonight. See what his stats look like. Passing wise, he's 5 of 9 for 53 yards. But that's going to be the end of the first quarter here in Norton, Phillipsburg. 19, Norton Blue Jays 0. But they do have the ball. We'll be right back. This is Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Norton Blue Jay Game Time Boosters, Moffett Drugstore, Graham Construction, and Roy's Sales and Service, Brian and Kate Fahnensteel owners. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from CarQuest of Norton, Midwest Mill, and BEB and Associates. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Go Fight Win Blue Jays.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
Switching fields now as Norton is on the west side of the field and with a 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Trying to get some momentum going here, and they've had a turnover and 2 punts so far. This is their 4th possession of the ball game. Rice is going to keep it, try to break it outside. And not much going on there. And actually, that's Backman that took that play out to the 30-yard line. It's going to give him 5 on the play. That was just a direct snap to Backman, and it's going to bring up second down and a long 5. We're going to get you some scores for games in the area. Snap back. Oh, Beckman dropped the ball, but he picks it up. He crosses and gets out to the 35-yard line and is, well, it looked like a wrestling move because Blake Burrish is a wrestler. And Burrish took him down just inside the 35-yard line, and that's going to be a pickup of 4 for Burrish, and it's going to be 3rd down and 1 now for the Norton Blue Jays. Rice is back under center, I formation, handoff, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage and nothing else. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That was Fahnensteel on the carry. Nothing going there. And so big decision now for Coach Hawks and his young Norton team. They're faced with a 4th and 1, the ball at their own 34-yard line. I formation again, Rice under center. Fahnensteel gets the carry. He dives out to the 40, to the 36, and this is going to be awfully close. See how they're going to give him a first down. First down, Norton on a 1-yard carry by Fahnensteel. Fahnensteel just following his lineman, and that's going to be a first down for Norton. So fresh set of downs. Back to passes, Rice. He's looking deep. He throws it deep. It is over. That was a perfectly placed pass to Dominic Valling, the senior. Just dropped it right over the shoulders, and those kind of plays Norton cannot afford. That's the second time that Rice has thrown a beautiful pass, and tell you what, if Valling would have reeled that in, he probably would have made it in the end zone, and those plays have been there, and Coach Hawks is going to try to capitalize even more on that. Here is a pitch out. This goes to Backman. Backman following a block, and he runs into his own player, and that's going to be a loss on that play. They're going to mark him out at the 33-yard line. So a loss of 3 on the play. And so now that's going to bring up 3rd down and 13 for the Blue Jays. And those 2 missed deep passes, beautifully thrown balls by Rice, just not connecting. Rice dropping back again. And he looks deep, and it is almost intercepted. It went through the hands of Wicker and almost picking that up for Phillipsburg with Schwen. It's 4th and 13. And this is a no-brainer for Coach Hawks and the Norton Blue Jays, as they're going to have to punt this one away. Owen Clark back to punt again for the Blue Jays. His 3rd punt of the night is early here in the second quarter. Nice deep spiral, and that's Burrish. He takes it at his own 27, breaks it to the left, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle. He breaks another tackle, He's broken 5 tackles on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Blake Burrish. Unbelievable. Blake Burrish is putting on a show tonight. And so from the 27, that's going to be a 73-yard punt return for a touchdown. And on to kick the extra point is Shields. And Shields, he's one of 3 so far tonight. He gets a lot of pressure from that left side of his line, but this one is blocked. So Norton, there's something you can take away from that is Norton has caused a couple of missed extra points and just blocked one. So it's 25-0. Phillipsburg with the lead, and Norton will get the kickoff. You're watching Nex-Tech. Game time right here on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
A special thanks to these Norton Game Time boosters: Bailey Ag Solutions Inc., United Northwest Federal Credit Union, and New Age Industrial Corporation. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from New Look Body Shop, Gall Motors Inc., Riley Spraying Service, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Welcome back to Norton, and Shields set to kick off again, fresh off of a 73-yard touchdown return on a punt by Burrish. And Burrish, it's the Blake Burrish show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. There is a fumble on the play. There is a flag on the play. Phillipsburg says they have the ball. Phillipsburg has the ball. Backman got the ball stripped at the 17-yard line, and we'll see what the flag's about first of all. Scores this coming in, Joaquini. So that's Trigo over Lacrosse. 20-0. And I believe they just picked up the flag and no penalty on the play. And just like that, Springer, we haven't seen a lot of Springer tonight, but he hands off the ball up the middle, driving forward inside the 10 is who else? Blake Burrish. He gets the call. He picks up 8 yards on that play, and so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 2. The ball spotted at the 9-yard line. So Burrish has a punt return for a touchdown, and he's looking to add on a rushing touchdown as he's the only one in the backfield. There's a flag on the play, and looked like it was a fake handoff to Burrish, and it was a keeper, but Springer, nothing going there, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what the official call is here. It could be false start on the offense. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So 2nd down and 8. Let's call it 7 now. Long 7 for Phillipsburg. Springer under center. He's going to keep it again. Same play, but to the different side of the field. And there's a fumble on the play. Springer lost the ball. And it is Norton's football. So Springer, the number 15, the quarterback, that was a quarterback keeper, and he had the ball stripped out right at the 5-yard line. In fact, just outside the 5-yard line. And Norton has the ball at their own 5-yard line. Rice dropping back. He's looking for a receiver, and it is thrown into traffic. And intended receiver out there was Jayton Weigel. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Very dangerous territory right now for the Blue Jays with 7:47 left to go in the second quarter. They're down 25-0. They've shown some flashes of brilliance in this ball game, particularly in the passing game. Rice with the snap drops back, and it was thrown to the left side, but that was knocked down by Cash Roth for Phillipsburg. Cash is going to take a run off the field to the sidelines to get some high fives from his teammates. And Norton is faced with 3rd down and 10 from their own 5. And the last thing you want to do is give Phillipsburg good field position. So it's important that Rice tucks it, and he is going to be sacked, and that's going to be a safety. Rice was looking for a receiver, and that big defensive line of Phillipsburg has just really controlled this ball game tonight. As Rice was going to roll out to the right, and not much going there, as at least two or three Panthers and it looked like in there on that play may have been Braxton Shields, defensive lineman, 5'11", 188-pound senior. And that's going to go as a safety. And so that makes the score now 27-0. And Norton's going to have to punt this one away to Phillipsburg. And Waukene over La Crosse, 20-0. That's the latest score we have. Great Bend over Hayes, 7-0. That's the latest score we've got. We'll keep looking for other scores, as this is going to be Owen Clark that's going to have to punt this one away after giving up Norton giving up a safety here. 27-0, 7:38 left to go in the second quarter. High, and just a floater, and it's picked up by Horenik at the 45-yard line. So that's where Phillipsburg will set up shop here and pretty much had their way. They fumbled the ball once. Each team actually has one turnover in this ball game, and Norton's just trying to come up with another stop. Blake Burrish in the backfield. Rice under center. Sorry, that's Springer under center. They're going to hand off to Burrish, and Norton's trying to strip that ball out, but not before Burrish picks up 7 yards on that play. Brings up 2nd down and 3 as the clock continues to run here in Norton. So it brings up 2nd down. Well, they're actually going to give him more like 6 yards on that play. It's scoreboard says 2nd down and 3, but we're going to call it 2nd down and 4. Springer back to pass. He is looking deep and over his intended receiver, E.J. Hall. First time we've called E.J.'s number tonight, number 80. And Colin Springer's stats tonight, he has thrown the ball just one time, and that one was the one we just saw, incomplete. 3rd down and 3. Power formation now, and it goes to Burish, and Burish will get it out past the 45 down to the 44, and that's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Phillipsburg Panthers, and they're going to give him 6 yards on that carry by Burish. So the stats for, we'll get Burish's stats here in just a moment. Pretty impressive, but Springer under center. Hands off to the left side, it's Burish. Burish is finally tackled at the 35-yard line. And where they're spotting it, looks like he's just going to be a couple feet short. Let's call it a yard short. So that's gain of 9 for Burish on the left side. And that big offensive line of Phillipsburg just had their way tonight, both offensively and defensively for the Panthers. Corman split left, double tight formation. Hrenik in motion to the right. Handoff to who else? That's Blake Burish. He's at the 15, down at the 10, and finally brought down at the 6-yard line. Gain of 30 on that play for Burish. Burish is just putting up some pretty crazy stats tonight. Burish tonight, 7 carries, 193 yards, and of course, three touchdowns, and one of those was a punt return, but he is just lighting that scoreboard up tonight. Norton's going to take a timeout. We will as well. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
We are back in Norton. It's both teams coming out of their huddle from the timeout. Phillipsburg has the ball. 1st and goal at the Blue Jay 5-yard line. Trying to build on a 27-0 lead. And so Springer, the quarterback, he's thrown 1 pass in this ball game and hasn't had to do a whole lot of work. And here is a handoff on the sweep to the left on the in around, and finally brought out of bounds was Kate Schwinn, number 5, and I think he's going to get right back to the original line of scrimmage. And for Schwinn, that's his first carry of the night, I believe, and brings up 2nd down and 6. Actually, they're going to call it a yard loss on that play. So the ball brought back out to the 6 for the Panthers, and they're going to keep. There's a fumble by Springer, but he picks it up and finally brought down and inside the 5-yard line. Looked like he was going to try to run, hand it off to Caleb Ledig, I believe that was, in the backfield for the Panthers. Number 11, who's the sophomore, the 5'10", 186-pound running back, and he is still in the backfield. Caleb Ledig, split right, is Horenick. Here's a handoff to Ledig and into the end zone, untouched for the touchdown. So that's a 4-yard touchdown run by Ledig. And, Shields is out there for the extra point. That's the 5th touchdown tonight for the Panthers and the 5th extra point attempt by Shields. He is 1 of 3 so far, and that time he got caught. That's Caleb Kieswater that got a little jumpy on the defensive side to try to get that block, and so that's just going to move Phillipsburg just a little bit closer, half the distance to the goal line, but they're going to still kick the extra point. Zane Shields, the junior. Burish is the holder. Here's the snap, ball down, kick is on its way, and it is good. So that makes the score 34-0 now. 4:34 left to go here in the second quarter. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech, Local 1. Sorry, man.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Zane Shields set to kick off again for Phillipsburg, 34-0. The Panthers with the lead here in Norton. Shields has got it inside the 5 every time he's kicked off, and it is caught at the 20-yard line by Hudson Walter. And Hudson had his knee on the turf, and that's where the ball is going to be spotted. Other scores coming in, Trigo is leading 28-0. In that ball game, and we'll get you some other scores. Looks like Great Bend is still over Hayes 7-0. According to our producer, Hayes had the ball at the 1-yard line and could not punch it in. Here is an option toss out to Backman, and Backman's going to bring it out past the 25 out to the 26, and they're going to give him 6 on that pickup. Nothing is going Norton's way on the inside, so they are having to run the ball outside, pass the ball outside. Because when you've got players like Blaze Christie, 5'9", 231 pounds, you've got Cash Roth, 5'9", 195 pounds on that defensive line, it's hard to get anything going up the middle. And also Braxton Shields. Here is a handoff up the middle. This is Backman, breaks a couple tackles, spins out of one, and finally brings it out to the 33-yard line. Nice pickup of 7 yards on the play by Backman, and he's been kind of the workhorse tonight for the Blue Jays. Now, if you remember, back in the first quarter, Norton had the ball down inside the 10-yard line of Phillipsburg on a beautiful drive and fumbled the football. Rice back to pass, and that pass is going to be deflected by the Panthers' E.J. Hall. And just knocked that pass down, brings up second down and 10. Hall, 6'1", 178-pound senior for the Panthers. Panthers keeping their defensive starters in the ball game. Hayden Rice waiting for the snap. It's going to be a pitch out, and there was a mass confusion there. Rice wasn't sure. He had two running backs and pretty much in the same spot, and I think that caught him off guard, and he did not know who to pitch it to. So that is a loss of 8. And that is not what Coach Hawks had in mind on that particular play. So Rice can throw the ball. He's got a beautiful spin. He's had 2 open wide receivers in this ball game and just has not been able to connect. He's got a man all by himself, and Rice is just going to throw this one away as he was pressured along the sidelines by Phillipsburg's Zane Shields. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 18. That's going to stop the clock at 2:19. And might have had a chance had he seen Hudson Wicker deep down the middle. But Rice has been under duress most of this ball game. There's a nice spiral punt, brings Bush back to the 35. He's already returned 1 for a touchdown, breaks it up the middle, breaks another tackle, and brings it out to the 49-yard line. And another nice run by Burrish, but a nice job by the Blue Jay special teams to stop that from getting any further. Looks like Jarrett Fonesteel comes up limping a little bit, the junior for the Blue Jays, but he's going to stay on the field. There's several players that are really, really limping. Braylon Brooks is dinged up on the sidelines. Here's a handoff to the left side. Burrish, and he is smacked hard at the 49-yard line after picking up 1. And let's see what, not sure who was there on the tackle for Norton, but they put a pretty big lick there on the wrestler, Burrish. But there's a timeout on the field, and we're going to take a quick timeout as well. 34-0, Phillipsburg with the lead. Just under 2 left to go here in the second quarter. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes, from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drug Store, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. We're back in Norton as
Phillipsburg has the ball. Second down and 9 from the Blue Jay 48-yard line. Here's a handoff to the left side. This is Horenick. He's got open running room. He's got blockers in front. Cuts it inside, cuts it outside. And Horenick is going to score the touchdown. That is a 48-yard touchdown run by Tanner Horenick. And that's the second big rushing touchdown of the night. And Phillipsburg is adding on to their lead. Now makes it 40-0. And we're going to call him the leg. That's Zane Shields out there to kick his, I believe, his 6th extra point. He's missed 2, missed 3 actually. This one is through, and it is good. 41-0 with a minute 44 left to go here in the second quarter here in Norton. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you will be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Zane Shields set to kick the ball off again, and it's homecoming night here in Norton, and a really big crowd tonight here for their homecoming. But then their Blue Jays have run into a battering ram called the Phillipsburg Panthers, as the kickoff return is brought out to the 25-yard line, and you can really start seeing some frustrated Blue Jays players. Hudson Walter took that kickoff, but Phillipsburg has 4 first downs in this ball game, but they also have 384 yards of total offense, all rushing. So let's see here what Norton can do before the half. Here's an option pitch. Breaks it down to Backman. Backman has actually had a very good game, and he is drug out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. That's going to leave him about a yard shy as the clock stops. Brings up second down, a long one now, as Backman is 15 carries for 61 yards. He's been the bright spot for this Norton Blue Jay ball club. And got to remember that Backman came in with 262 yards of rushing. He gets the call again, breaks a tackle, and I think they're going to give him a first down. They're going to give him, it's called 3 yards for the first down as he crosses the 35 out to the 36. And chain gang move the chains on the far side of the field, and a fresh set of downs for Norton. And with a minute 15 left to go here in the second quarter, Backman, who's wearing a knee brace on his left knee, trying to get that all switched, that's figured out. There is a pitch out to Backman, and Backman is drug and ran out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And there was a heck of a block, and we have an injured player, an injured Phillipsburg Panther on the field as the coach runs out, and he's not moving. So I think we need to take a quick timeout. And we will be back, and we'll let you know how this young man out there for the Phillipsburg Panthers is doing. You're watching Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Norton Blue Jay Game Time Boosters, Moffett Drugstore, Graham Construction, and Roy's Sales and Service, Brian and Kate Fonnet Steel owners. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from CarQuest of Norton, Midwest Mill, and BEB and Associates. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Go Fight Win Blue Jays.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents, Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
A special thanks to these Norton Game Time Boosters, Bailey Ag Solutions Inc., United Northwest Federal Credit Union, and New Age Industrial Corporation. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from New Look Body Shop, Gall Motors Inc., Riley Spraying Service, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hins has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hazerec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes, from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drugstore, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
A special thanks to our Norton Blue Jay Game Time Boosters, Moffett Drugstore, Graham Construction, and Roy Sales and Service, Brian and Kate Fonnet Steel owners. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from CarQuest of Norton, Midwest Mill, and BEB and Associates. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Go Fight Win Blue Jays.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents, Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
A special thanks to these Norton Game Time Boosters, Bailey Ag Solutions Inc., United Northwest Federal Credit Union, and New Age Industrial Corporation. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from New Look Body Shop Gall Motors Inc., Riley Spraying Service, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hins has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time Boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drugstore, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
We are back in Norton as the injured player was number 80 for the Phillipsburg Panthers. That's E.J. Hall, the linebacker, senior linebacker, and he was taken off on a stretcher, and he's on his way to the Norton County Hospital. But the good news is he gave a thumbs up, and we're just praying that he's going to be okay. Back to football we go, and here's a handoff up the middle. Is that Owen Clark? Clark with the carry, number 35. That's Owen's first carry of the night. He's going to pick up 2 on that play, make it 3rd down and 6 with 30 seconds and the clock rolling. Both teams had kind of stretch out a little bit more. Here is a passing play, and he has a receiver, and it is overthrown and almost intercepted. Great call. Hayden Rice pitched it out to Backman, and Backman was looking deep for Dominic Valling, and good coverage over there by the Panthers, but that was a heck of a ball thrown there by Backman. And so with 18 seconds left to go, Norton's just going to punt this one away. Fourth and 6, and they just don't want to give Phillipsburg a cheap timeout. There's a flag on the play, and Burrish has brought out the ball out to the 30, make that the 40-yard line, but there is a flag that might be a holding on Phillipsburg, and that is the call. And with 5 seconds left to go, I think you may see Phillipsburg kneel this one down as Springer comes out to the huddle with the play. So the ball was out to the 40-yard line, but they're going to move it back 10 yards because of the hold. And with 5 seconds left to go, it's 1st down and 10 now for Phillipsburg at their own 30-yard line. This will be the last play of the half, and Springer under center. Birch gets a handoff around the left side and breaks it out to the 37. He's going to give him 7 yards on that play, but that is going to end the first half here in Norton. 41-0. Phillipsburg with the commanding lead. We're going to take another timeout, and we'll bring you some scores, the first half stats, I believe cheerleading performance, and a whole lot more as we are at halftime here in Norton. You are watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
The answer key tonight is to jump off.
And 2, man, it's the jump off right here, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
the jump off. I've been gone for a minute, now I'm back with the jump off. Rooms in the club, get some jump off. Tough but I hide but the pumps off. In the graveyard is where you get stumped off. All we wanna do is party. I'm trying to leave with somebody for running. Spread love, that's what a real mob do. Keep it gangster, look out for the people. I'm the bitch to the east, so you better keep it peace. Out come the beast. To the Billy, the Hummers, the Benz. Escalade 23-inch rims. Weapon like a jaguar with the chims. You get bread up and live good. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. All my blades in the hood stay fly. And if you wanna let me be, say ride, ride. Feel the timberland, it's your drawers. Special delivery for you and yours. I rep the thugs, he rep the boys. If you rep the hood, then make some noise. Shake up the dice, throw down your ice. Bet it up, the price. Money in a thing, throw it out like rice. Been around the world, I can say things twice. 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 Let me show you what I'm all about. Shake your body, move your body, body. On the dance floor, don't hurt nobody, body. I'm the one with the range in the rover. When I'm stepping out the range, it's over.
Nice job, ladies. And while the band is taking the field, let's recognize a couple of other people. How about, is the class of 1990 down there somewhere? Class of 1990, stand up, be recognized. Come on. Some school spirit down there. There you go. How about the class of 2000? Class of 2000, there they are. And last but certainly not least, class of 2005. 2005. 2005.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you will be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
A special thanks to our Norton Blue Jay Game Time Boosters, Moffett Drugstore, Graham Construction, and Roy's Sales and Service, Brian and Kate Fon Steel owners. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from CarQuest of Norton, Midwest Mill, and BEB and Associates. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Go Fight Win Blue Jays.
Tonight's special halftime performance involves members of our alumni band who through the years performed many halftime shows on this very field. Instructional background of this field ranges from David Scully to yours truly, to Jordan Kinson, to Don Mordecai. We have members representing from the class of 1964 through the class of 2025. 61 years plus of music from Norton will be before you this evening. Tonight's performance begins with The Weeknd's 2019 hit song, Blinding Lights.
A special thanks to our Norton Blue Jay Game Time Boosters, Moffett Drugstore, Graham Construction, and Roy Sales and Service, Brian and Kate Fawn Steel owners. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from CarQuest of Norton, Midwest Mill, and BEB and Associates. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Go Fight Win Blue Jays.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
A special thanks to these Norton Game Time Boosters, Bailey Ag Solutions Inc., United Northwest Federal Credit Union, and New Age Industrial Corporation. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from New Look Body Shop Gall Motors Inc., Riley Spraying Service, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hens has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No.
We are back in Norton at halftime as the Norton High School Band and alumni are out there playing together. This is homecoming for Norton tonight, and so that's kind of a neat thing to see out there. Let's go over some scores and some stats as we have them for you. Let's start off with this one. So Norton has 9 first downs, 27 rushing attempts, but they've only been able to accumulate 59 yards of rushing. That's a little over 2 yards a carry. They've had, they're 5 of 17 throwing the ball, 63 yards. They've ran a total of 44 plays here in the first half. To break it down a little bit for you, Backman has been really the lone highlight of this ball game so far for Norton. 17 carries and 68 yards, but he also has 2 catches for 19 yards as well, and he's thrown the ball once, and that fell incomplete as well. Hayden Rice, starting quarterback, 2 carries, -6 yards. He's thrown the ball 15 times, connected 5 times for 63 yards. Leading receiver is Tyler Backman for the Blue Jays, 2 catches, 19 yards. Meanwhile, on the Phillipsburg side, they have 4 first downs in the first half, 18 rushing attempts, 5 rushing touchdowns, 391 rushing yards, at 21.7 yards per carry. We'll explain why here in just a minute, but Phillipsburg's only ran 19 plays in this ball game. They're 2 for 2 on third downs. Norton is 4 of 11 for 36% on first down. Both teams have a turnover. Blake Burrish leading the way, 10 carries, 209 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and he has a punt return for a touchdown. Tanner Hornick, he's only carried the ball 3 times, but he's got 170 yards to show for it and 2 touchdowns. That's been the story, the rushing attack from Phillipsburg, and Norton just not able to come up with an answer. So it is 41-0 here as we'll start the second half here in just a few moments. But Phillipsburg's first drive came on their first score came on a 52-yard rushing touchdown by Blake Burrish. Extra point was good. Then later in the first quarter, Tanner Hornick with a 4 plays, 90 yards, and it was a rushing touchdown for Tanner. The third score came with a rushing touchdown. That was 1 play, 64 yards, and that was Burrish that took that one to the house, and the extra point was no good. Norton was able to block a punt. Then Burrish comes back and scores a touchdown on a 73-yard punt return for a touchdown. Extra point was no good. And then on a 9-play, 55 yards drive, a rushing touchdown by Caleb Ledig. Brought that in from about 4 or 5 yards from the end zone. And so Caleb Ledig gets the score there. Extra point was good. And that's kind of your soaring summary here as they put a couple more minutes left on the clock here before we resume the second half. Some scores as we have them for you. Last update we have is that Trigo is winning their ball game against La Crosse by the score 42-0. Trigo comes in at 6-0. Looks like they're going to end up 7-0, still undefeated, and La Crosse is going to fall to 3-4 for their record after tonight. See if we can get some more scores here for you, and particularly in this area. Oberlin at a half, but this has been about 20 minutes ago. Oberlin was leading Rawlins County 24-6 at the half. Scott City and Goodland tied at 14. Smith Center over Oakley 32-14. What a resurgence by that Smith Center football team. Had a down year last year, but they are rolling this year, coming into tonight's game undefeated. Rock Creek over Concordia at the half. That's probably well into the third quarter by now. Last score we got on that was 28-0. Last score we have on probably the game of the night in the state of Kansas. Great Bend undefeated playing at Hayes. And the last score we have, and it's been a while, 7-0. Great Bend with the lead, and we'll see if we can get any updates on that particular game. Dot City and Garden City were tied at 7 last we have heard, and that was at the half. So that's kind of a breakdown of the scores as we have them for you. We'll keep you up to date because there's other big games going on tonight in the area that we definitely want to keep you apprised of. Minneapolis and Russell are playing tonight. Wichita County and Quinter are playing tonight. Ness City and Ellis, Syracuse, TMP, Stockton, Hill City. We're going to try drag some scores out and get those to you as soon as we have them. Update. Looks like they are in the third quarter, I believe. Just got an update. Great Bend over Hayes, 14-7. That one just came in from our producer. Thanks, Jason. So Norton got the ball to start the first half as Phillipsburg won the toss. They deferred to the Blue Jays, and so the Blue Jays are set to kick off for the first time tonight. And Phillipsburg ready to receive a kickoff for their first time tonight. Deep to receive for the Panthers, Owen Miller, and also Kate Schwinn. Check that. That's Caleb Leedig. And to kick off is Cope Railsback for the Norton Blue Jays. And here we go. It's a short end-over-end kick, and there's a flag on the play. And it looked like the right side of the Blue Jays kick team was offsides, and that's going to scoot them back a little bit. So Railsback's got to tee it up again. Try this all over again as we ready for the opening kickoff here in the second half. Norton trailing 41-0 to a tough Phillipsburg Panther team. That's a much better kickoff, and it is received by number 11 as he breaks it out to the right side. That is Caleb Leedig, and finally brought down at about the 38-yard line. And that is where Phillipsburg will set up possession to start the second half. Springer's still in at quarterback as Coach Ross Coombs has his offense out on the field. Here's a handoff, and that's not going to go anywhere, and that's a rare thing to see when Burrish is the ball carrier, and they're going to give him a yard on the play. That'll bring up second down and 9. Remember, Burrish was averaging some gaudy numbers. He's now 11 carries, 210 yards, but that's the first time that he has really been stymied all night. Split right, Cleveland Corman for the Panthers. Under center, Springer. Springer is going to hand it off again, and this is Burrish getting the call. Once again, he brings it out to the 44, and that's going to be a pickup of 5 yards for the Panthers. And if I'm looking right, looks like we got an update out of Hayes between the Great Bend Panthers and the Hayes Indians. Big game tonight, and it looks like Great Bend has gone up 21-7. Back to pass to Springer. He throws it to the left and out of the reach for his intended receiver, Owen Miller. First stop. And that's the first time that Norton has stopped the Panthers and forced the Panthers into a fourth down situation. And the Panthers are going to go for it. Cleveland Corman, split right, Springer under center, Burrish in the backfield, double tight formation. Hornick is in motion, and it's a rush by number 5. That's Kate Schwinn. And Kate Schwinn scores a 56-yard touchdown run on 4th and 5. A little misdirection there by the Panthers, and almost got tackled there along the sidelines, but nothing doing. And now Leading is starting to rack up the yardage. We'll get that here in just a second as Zane Shields lines up for the extra point. Kick is on its way, and it is good. So 48-0. Phillipsburg with the lead. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Phillipsburg Game Time boosters, Dr. Ron Juniman and Dr. Riley Juniman, Coombs Trucking, Shane Kinter Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance. These proud supporters stand behind the Panther students and athletes from Sawyer's Ace Hardware, Whitmer Rexel Drugstore, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, along with Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year.
Fresh off of a 55-yard touchdown run by, and I said it was Leading earlier. I was wrong. That was Kate Schwinn. And the Panthers are averaging 21.5 yards per carry in this ball game. Here is the kickoff by Shields, and it is picked up at the 20. Crosses the 25 and close to the 30-yard line. And so that is where the Norton Blue Jays are going to set up shop for the drive. They've been held scoreless tonight. .122 yards of total offense for Norton, 63 yards passing and 59 yards rushing, but they're only averaging 2.8 yards per play on the offense. High snap. Good job by Rice to bring it in. He's running for his life around the left side. He's got one open running room, and tell you what could have been a 5-6 yard loss for Rice. Hayden gets it around the left side and is able to pick up. That was Tyler Backman on that play. I apologize. I thought for sure that was 11, but my statistician here says that's not correct. That's Backman, and Backman is able to pick up 3 yards. Backman, there's a couple plays back in I believe it was the first quarter, where Backman was actually the quarterback instead of the starting quarterback, Hayden Rice. So I'm going to have to watch my numbers a little bit more carefully as Backman gets the call again. He's got blockers in front. He breaks it out. He's past the 40 and knocked out of bounds at the 50-yard line. And they're actually going to mark him out at the 46 of the Panthers. 17-yard pickup on that play by Backman. And I tell you what, Backman is having an amazing ball game, all things considered. He is the quarterback now. Backman in shotgun formation. Here's the snap. He's going to keep it. He's going to bring it out to the left. Breaks one tackle. He has two blockers in front of him, and he brings it out past the 45 and out to the 43-yard line, where he's going to pick up a very hard-earned 3 yards on that play. And for Backman in this ball game, he's got 20 carries, 91 yards. So I think Coach Jeremy Hawks may have found something at least to get them through. This ball game is worth the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Norton looking to put some points on the board. Backman, back to pass. He's looking to his right. It is caught at the 30. Oh, he dropped it, 35-yard line. Nice job in there by Cade Schwinn of Phillipsburg to put a hard hit on Caleb's Kieschwater and knocked it loose. And that was a great pass over there by Tyler Backman. Backman coming into this ball game has had only thrown the ball 3 times all year, and one of those resulted in an interception. But he's got a good arm. Hayden Rice has a good arm, and so does Backman. But it's 3rd and 7 now. Backman gets the snap. He's going to tuck it. He's going to cut up the middle. He crosses the 40, and they're going to knock him down right at about the 39-yard line. So that's going to bring up 4th down now and 3 as Backman picks up, we're going to call it 4th and 4. It picks up 3 yards on the play. And Backman, this is a no-brainer. Coach Jeremy Hawks knows this, and he brings in Braylon Brooks, the sophomore, put him in the receiving spot. And they got to hurry. There's 4 seconds left on the game clock. Backman gets the snap, rolls out to the right, looking for a receiver, and it is almost intercepted off the fingertips of Cade Schwinn, and Brooks almost had an eye on that ball because it popped right off the fingertips and goes out of bounds, and we have a turnover on downs. And Phillipsburg comes back out on the field, take over possession at their own 39-yard line, With 4:40, the clock keeps rolling. Under center is Springer. He's going to hand it off to number 11. That's Caleb Ledig, and Ledig's going to pick up. Let's give him a couple yards. That's going to make a second down and a long 8 for the Panthers. And clock continues to run. We're just over 4 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Tight formation for Phillipsburg. Here's a handoff. This goes again to Ledig, and Ledig, the sophomore, is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 now for the Phillipsburg Panthers. And I think Blake Bursch may be done for this game, as he has not played here in the third quarter. And so alone in the backfield is Ledig. Ledig gets the call, and he is stuffed right off the bat. Nice job in there by Cope Railsback, the 6'2", 205-pound junior defensive lineman, in there first to make the stop, and it's 4th and 9 as Ledig will lose a yard. And for the first time tonight, Phillipsburg's going to punt the ball. Deep to receive for Norton is Kieswater, and snap is over the head. That's over the head of Shields. He picks it up and runs it and was just able to get the ball off barely, and that's going to be a net 5 yards on that punt. So nice job there by Zane Shields, who's also their kicker, to scramble and go pick up that ball and make something out of nothing. That could have been very dangerous for Phillipsburg. And so this gives Norton an opportunity to start their offensive possession inside Phillipsburg. And I believe this is only the second or maybe the third drive. Handoff up the middle, Backman. Backman is back at the running back spot. And Hayden Rice is back in at quarterback, but not before Backman picks up 7 yards on the play out to the 36. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 3 with 1:25 left to go here in the third quarter. So Backman has kind of done everything tonight. He's thrown the ball. He's ran the ball. He's been the quarterback. He's been the halfback, as they're in I formation now. Split right is Kieswetter, and hand off to Backman. Who else? And Backman is met right at the 35. He's going to pick up, let's give him 2, and it's going to make a third down, and let's call it a long 1. We're short 2. But Tyler Backman has been the workhorse tonight for Norton as we approach the 30-second mark left to go here in the third quarter, with Phillipsburg commanding 48-0 lead. Here's a pitch out. It goes to Backman. Backman has a couple blockers, and he is knocked out of bounds, but not after he picks up a first down, and that's going to be about a 9-yard pickup at the 26-yard line now of Phillipsburg, and that is going to be the end of the third quarter. So Norton has a little bit of momentum going. Can it get some points on the board? We're going to find out when we start the fourth quarter after this. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers,
So, if you don't know who those girls are, here are the introductions. We'll do as quickly as I can. Natalie Evelyn.
So a nice performance by the Norton Blue Jay cheerleaders as trying to get some life into the offense of Norton as Backman gets the call, and he will lose a yard on that play as we are starting the fourth quarter here in Norton. When you think of football weather other than snow, this is kind of the night you think of. It's a little brisk out there, a little chilly. The cheerleaders are putting their sweatshirts on. Here's the pitch out to who else? Backman. He dodges one. He dodges another one, is finally knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line, and he is going to be a yard shy of the first down. That's going to be a 10-yard pickup. Actually, he is going to be way short of the first down. It's 3rd down and 5 now from the 21-yard line. Pickup of 6 for Backman, and Backman for the night is at 117 yards on 26 carries. 136 yards of total offense for Backman tonight. Rice under center, pitches it out. It's Backman, and they are riding the back of Backman as he gets to the 20. Minimal gain on that play. We're going to give him a yard, and it's now going to bring up 4th down and a long 4. So what are they going to do here? That's 6 straight carries for Tyler Backman on this drive. 24 total yards rushing on this particular drive. Hayden Rice drops back. He's looking for his receiver, and it is in the hands and dropped. Far sideline, Jayton Weigel, the senior, right in his hands, and he just could not bring it in. So Jeremy Hawks just trying to throw everything he can at the Phillipsburg Panthers defense, and it's 2 drives now in this ball game that Phillipsburg's been relatively deep in Panther territory and came away empty-handed. And Phillipsburg's going to keep their starting quarterback in there. That's Springer. Well, it's pretty much been a rushing offense tonight. Here's a hand off the left side. This goes to Ledig, and Ledig is going to get, let's give him 5 on that play, out to the 25-yard line, and clock keeps rolling. 8:35 left to go in the ball game. Springer under center. Hrenik in motion. Hrenik hasn't really gotten the ball that much today, but he's made the most of it, and that's a keeper by Springer, and picks up 4. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. And we'll get you some stats on that. He picks up 1 on that play, brings up 3rd down and 1. And let's see if Norton's defense can stop as Ledig gets the call again, and he just follows his offensive line and brings it clear out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 5, and it's a fresh set of downs now for the Phillipsburg Panthers. So Ledig with 3 straight carries on that. So if we look at the box score, it was 19 to nothing after 1. Then it was 22 scored points by Phillipsburg in the second, but only 1 score here in the second half. As Ledig gets the call again and brings it out to the 37-yard line, and they're going to switch some players out. They're going to take Springer out. They're going to take Hrenik out. They're going to take out Kate Schwinn, and they're going to bring in a brand new quarterback. That's going to be number 6, Cooper Gower, who is our new quarterback for Phillipsburg. He's got Cleveland Corman split left. Here is a handoff up the middle, and that is number 11, Ledig again, picks up 7 yards, and that's another first down for the Panthers. So it's an opportunity for both coaches to get some of your younger players some playing time, as this game has really been out of reach for Norton since probably early in the second quarter. So Gower, your quarterback, he's a sophomore. It is a pitch out to Cash Mans, and Cash Mans is going to bring it out across the 50 out to the 41, a gain of 14 on that play. And Cash Mans, number 12, his first carry of the night. He is a 5'8", 149-pound sophomore, the new quarterback out there. Number 6, Cooper Gower, is a 5'10", 177-pound sophomore. I think he may have to wait as Colin Springer is a senior, and there's a handoff, and that goes to a new player, and that's number 18, Tyree Snyder. Nice job by Railsback with the tackle there for a loss of 4. .435 left to go in the ball game, and Norton wants to take a timeout. 2nd and 14 for Phillipsburg. We're going to take a quick timeout as well. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
A special thanks to our Norton Blue Jay Game Time boosters, Moffett Drugstore, Graham Construction, and Roy Sales and Service, Brian and Kate Fon Steel owners. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from CarQuest of Norton, Midwest Mill, and BEB and Associates. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Go Fight Win Blue Jays.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you'll be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
So 4:36 left to go in the ball game, and Phillipsburg's ready to run the play, and Norton is trying to get their defensive line, and new quarterback Cooper Gower hands it off to the right side, and carrying players with him is Caleb Ledig, and that's going to result in a first down after picking up, third down and 6, because of the play previous to that was a loss. So that picks up 8 on that play. So 3rd down and 6. And really, no hurry here from Phillipsburg. We do have an update. 28-13, Great Bend with the lead over the Hayes High Indians. Here is a pitch, goes out to the left side, Cash Mans, and he's going to pick up a first down as he gets out to the 29-yard line, a pickup of 8 on 4 Mans, and a fresh set of downs as we are down to 3.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. Again, Great Bend over Hayes, 28-13. There are about 5 minutes left to go in that ball game. Ledig is the running back, but he does not get the call. This is number 10, or is that 18? Looks like 18, and there's a late flag. It looks like it. Nope, no flag on the play. That was Snyder, again, who gets the second carry of the ball game, number 18, and brings it down to the 20-yard line. Check that, the 15-yard line. And pick up a 13 yards. So a fresh set of downs again for Phillipsburg as they have their younger players out there. This is Ledig, and Ledig is met right away by number 52 for the Blue Jays. That's Gavin Rutherford, the freshman, and Rutherford registers a tackle, but not before a 3-yard pickup by Ledig. And so we're now at the 2-minute mark here in Norton. Next week, Norton takes on Concordia, and Phillipsburg hosts Minneapolis. As Ledig gets the call again and going to pick up. Let's give him 3 on the play, and it brings up third down and 3, excuse me, now, as we are now at a minute and a half, and see if Norton can keep Phillipsburg out of the end zone. So we wrap this ball game up. Here's a handoff, and boy, just a mass of humanity carrying the ball in. And who in the world who's the last one up off the pile? That is number 4 for Phillipsburg, the freshman, Colby Myers, 5'5", 196. The bulldozer as he punches it in, and he is now on our stat sheets. There's a 10-yard touchdown run as a freshman. How do you like that? Shields with the extra point, and it is good. 55-0 with 1:10 left to go here in the third quarter. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
We are back in Norton, and Norton's set to receive the kickoff, down 55-0, and it's just been Phillipsburg all night. Coach Jeremy Hawks for the Blue Jays just trying anything and everything he could to give his team an opportunity to stay close in this ball game. But when you got players like Colin Springer and Tanner Horenick and Blake Burrish, who's had a massive night tonight, that's tough to do. And you got a young squad. You know, we were here back in week 2 when Norton took on TMP, and you know, it was a big deal because Norton had graduated 15 players, as there is a nice kickoff return and finally brought down out to the 45-yard lines where they're going to mark him. And nice little run back there for Norton on that kickoff. And with 58 seconds and the clock running, it's first down and 10 for the Blue Jays. And They haven't. Yep, they just started the play clock. There's a 13-second difference, but I don't think really have a whole lot for the final play as we get in several young players like Luke Clydesdale, the freshman, is at quarterback now. Hands off to the right side, and that call goes to number 44, who's not even on our roster. That's Ethan Bailey. And with 3 seconds, that's going to be the last play of the ball game. So Norton will fall to 0-7 on the season. Phillipsburg is now 4-3. Phillipsburg will host Minneapolis next week. Norton is going to host Concordia next week, who came into tonight at 3-3 record. We're going to take a timeout, go over a little bit of stats for you, and see if we can get some updates for games going on in the area, and then we'll wrap it up here from Norton. The final score, Phillipsburg over Norton, 55-0. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time on Nex-Tech Local 1.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
A special thanks to these Norton Game Time boosters: Bailey Ag Solutions Inc., United Northwest Federal Credit Union, and New Age Industrial Corporation. These proud supporters stand behind the Norton students and athletes. Go Fight Win from New Look Body Shop Gall Motors Inc., Riley Spraying Service, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime full-season booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. They're rooting for all area schools to have a great year. Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hins has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
We are back in Norton. Your final score, 55-0. The Panthers of Phillipsburg make the trip here to Norton and take out the Blue Jays. Let's go over some statistics from this ball game. I mean, obviously heavily dominated by Phillipsburg tonight. One thing that Norton did have more than Phillipsburg was first downs. Norton had 11 first downs tonight. Phillipsburg only had 9. But when you average almost 14 yards a play, that makes it tough. At one point, they were averaging like 21 and a half yards for every play that they ran, particularly the rush. 37 rushes tonight for Phillipsburg, 534 yards. That's 14.4 yards a carry. Norton with 38 carries, 110 yards at 2.9 a clip. Phillipsburg only put the ball up in the air twice and no completions. Meanwhile, Norton put the ball in the air 20 times, 5 completions, 63 yards. Only 2 turnovers in this ball game. I could be wrong, because our stats say 0, but two total turnovers tonight. Phillipsburg was 5 of 7 for 71% on third downs, and 36% for the Norton Blue Jays. So there were a total of 41 points scored in this first half and 14 in the second half here in Norton, all scoring done by Phillipsburg tonight. So, okay, so our statistician here, Brendan, has something to So tell us a little bit about some of the passing and what the numbers may not be showing us.
So, Phillipsburg obviously dominated the rushing game by about 4 times. Norton held their own, put up 110 total rushing yards. But the real story here is from the passing game, where you may see 20 pass attempts, 5 completions by the sophomore Hayden Rice. But the truth is, if you were here watching the game, he threw a lot of deep balls that were in the hands of receivers, and they just could not hold on. Hayden Rice threw a lot of great balls to his receivers tonight.
Yeah, three drop deep passes, and that it's tough to overcome those types of things. So,
absolutely.
So we don't really have any updates on scores other than it's 28-19 last we heard in Hayes with the Indians and the Great Bend Panthers, and that game had about 4 minutes left to go, and that's probably close to a final, probably close to a one by now. Just trying to see if we can get any more quick scoring updates for you, because most of these games are now finals, and just kind of scanning through our feed here and not really seeing anything here. So I wish we had better news for you, but that's what we have for you tonight as far as games in the area and scores. So we are going to call it a night here. I want to thank Pat. Pat was one of our camera people tonight, and of course Carter was on camera tonight. Brendan, my statistician, appreciate his help. And of course, Jason in the van, who is our producer tonight. So thanks for everybody for all that you do. Next week, Nex-Tech game time is week 8 in the high school season. That's the last week of the regular season. Nex-Tech game time. We're going to be back in Hill City as the Hill City Ringnecks take on the Rawlins County, I thought it was Rawlins County. I should have looked before Oberlin, Decatur, yeah. Yep, Decatur Community High School. That's who we're going to have next week, and that's going to be in Hill City. Hill City's having a great season. So we will see you next week. For everybody that makes this possible, thank you very much. We appreciate you watching Nex-Tech Game Time tonight. I'm Steve Stoltz saying good night from Norton. The final score, Phillipsburg 55, Norton 0. Have a great night, everybody.